Folks, we are live. Just adjusting the mic here. Uh, Welcome to Gamers Health. It's Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. My lovely wife, Rach. I'm sitting right next to her. I got to remember which way to point the finger because the screen gets everything backwards. Paul, thank you. We're having a wonderful weekend, by the way. Now, it's already been pointed out that my hair looks like a mess. I've got too much hair. Uh, yes, it's that COVID haircut, which means you're not getting your haircut. And I know the picture quality is not as sharp as when I'm home. I'm going to assume it's the bandwidth from the hotel, but is what it is. So I thought we would talk a little bit of what the con, the challenges that going to a convention has for anybody trying to.
With maintaining lifestyle changes and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I mean that's really huge. So, Rach, I give her tons of credit. You brought your TRX with you.
My TRX, my
And you,
yoga mat, and my sliders.
so,
Sliders help to intensify core workouts.
so Rach is still working out. Even here, she took what 2 hours out of your day today.
Today was 2 hours. It
Um,
was a little abbreviated.
it was a little catch that 2 hour workout on a vacation at a convention, and that was abbreviated because it was only 2 hours.
Yeah, I notice now actually that when I don't get to do some form of exercise, that I do miss it, and that my body becomes more tense, and that you know uh, areas where I would feel pain due to arthritis
Right.
flare. So I'm happy that I brought these things to be able to at least safeguard against that. Uh, you guys, if you've been, I know you've been, a lot of you have been watching us for a little while now.
Mhm.
And before we left New York, I hadn't had a drink in 4 weeks because I didn't want to use calories
Back down the
um,
window.
to be able to. I didn't want to drink calories basically. So
Right.
yeah. So of course, the night that we got here,
You drank some calories.
Mick Ultra on tap.
On tap is
Yeah.
is a solid beer. I gotta
That
say,
was really nice. And then we had the whiskey tasting the following night.
which was tasting whiskey followed by more whiskey.
Mhm. But
Yes.
was it more than two generally?
Well, no,
The whiskey.
the whiskey tasting itself was about 2 shots worth of liquor.
Hmm.
But we had whiskey before the whiskey tasting, and we had other whiskey after the whiskey tasting.
Yeah, there was a pre-taste and a post-taste.
So there was a lot of taste. By the way, Paul says impressive rates. That's some commitment.
Thank you. And so, yeah. So at least maintaining the exercise, it's not going to hurt so much when I go back home, and I just go back on my plan of counting my calories. I have not been tracking in my chronometer since we got here.
Thank God for that, because otherwise there would be no food being purchased. Because let's be honest,
It's
all
like I
right?
can't eat anything.
For breakfast, they brought back the breakfast buffet, but from everybody we talked to, it was not great. So, and it's expensive. So we've been eating from a brunch truck. Uh, Thursday and
Yeah.
today. Yesterday, Luau Lu, basically he sponsored a breakfast at 7 a.m. Lou, I love you, man, but too early. But at 7 a.m. breakfast, it was very nice. And it was a bunch of podcasters and YouTubers getting together to
Yeah.
compare notes. It was really good, not just to hear other people, but to see other people that are either currently casting in some form or another or plan on casting in one form or another, because it really brings thoughts and ideas
Yeah, the each one
together.
teach one kind of thing.
So that was
What
really nice.
works for each person that's there.
So I believe Lou recorded that, which should be cool. When it comes out, I'll direct you to it. But it was a lot of fun. But it was what do you do for a breakfast like that, right? Well, you get bagels, That's carbs, right? You get danishes, that's carbs, right?
Donut.
Donuts, that's carbs, right? Fruit, all right, it's less carbs, but and juices, that's
Yeah,
carbs. I
did
didn't.
you drink juice?
I
I
did
don't
not
drink
touch the
juice.
juice.
I was like, no, I can't drink alcohol.
So yeah, no. So I mean,
Unless it's alcohol.
unless
Unless
it's
it's something
alcohol.
that can alter you.
Um, I've heard Aaron is here. I haven't bumped into him, but I believe he is here. He was here last year. Last year he actually interviewed Mike and myself,
Hmm.
but I have not seen him. Listen, this
Oh, Aaron the pedantic.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's probably about I'm going to guesstimate 400 people here. Some people are maybe the total numbers will be larger because some people only came for a day or two, but it's been a really nice feel. There were some cancellations, I think, due to weather. We certain people like Rocky Gardner from was it Silver Belay wasn't able to make it because his plane got canceled and the next one got canceled and there's another cancellation and it was done
Mm.
because the weather was pretty bad on Wednesday. But there's a challenge when you go, I guess, on any kind of vacation, but especially conventions are not. You're not going to find low carb pasta choices. Okay, you're lucky if you can find a salad dish, but even a salad dish is probably going to be $12, $13. It's going to be expensive to eat at the hotel restaurant. So we have trucks, and the trucks aren't necessarily cheap, but they're cheaper. Our breakfast options, at least for around $6 each,
Yeah. No,
and it
we
was very
have
filling
dinner
sandwiches.
out, the barbecue.
Right.
You know, you can't come to Texas and not eat some
Oh,
type of
you got
barbecue
it.
thing.
You got to get barbecue, and that can be low carb. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That, but again, I came here with the idea in the back of my head, knowing that I probably wasn't going to hear my low glucose alarm going off. I would probably hear my high glucose alarm going off, which I've heard twice. Which
Which is not bad for
no,
the amount of time that we've been here.
right. So, I mean, last night I had a late night quesadilla and some Mick Ultras, and it didn't really spike me much at all.
No.
So
Surprising, right?
that was very surprising and made me very happy. So,
Mm.
but you still have to watch what you eat because if you don't, it's very easy. Even not just eating bad food, but just overeating. I don't know if you probably didn't realize, rates. They had a box of Dunkin' Donuts at the check-in for the whatchamacallit,
Oh, for the con?
for the con. They
Oh
had
no, I didn't. I mean,
they had
I don't
bunks.
want to know.
I know, and the hotel has even had first couple of nights uh, dessert snacks that were out there.
Yeah, they might have put it up there now.
They might have by now. They might be out. So these are things that listen.
I didn't see what it was yesterday.
It's going to be hard. Now, there are people like Greg Gillespie. Greg Gillespie, best known for Barrowmaze. He is on a keto diet. I spoke with Greg briefly, and I was like, "You really got a challenge, don't you?" He's like, "Yeah, I do," and I'm sure Greg will find a way to get through it. And maybe some of it is using your small refrigerator in your room to get foods that are more
Safer
applicable,
for you.
safer
Yeah.
for you. But generally speaking, if you aren't able to cook for yourself, your options are going to be limited, and you can't cook. Average hotel room, you're not cooking for yourself. Especially if you are flying into a city, you're taking the hotel shuttle. You don't have access to a car. You're not able to get the healthier snacks that you may want or need. So that
Hmm.
becomes part of the issue. Uh, I think that applies to many people going to conventions, going on any trip. I mean, honestly, but if you go to like an all-inclusive resort, I'm sure you're going to find at this point low carb options
Sure.
at the buffet, but you're not going to find that at the average hotel. So you got to balance it out.
Hmm.
It's not always easy. Now, what I do find, which is very rewarding, and you can probably hear some of the it's not too loud in here. We got a couple of tables of games going, but nobody's getting TPK'd, nobody's freaking out. But you get a chance to reconnect with people that you've had connections with prior. You get to actually make a physical, visual meet space connection with people that you've known from the internet, which is always awesome. And you get to meet people that, in my case, follow the YouTube channel, follow the blog, and give you feedback. And be like, listen, I really appreciate what you do. I appreciate you and Rach on Gamers Health. It is a really awesome way to support the community. So things like that really recharges my battery. I mean, this is I joke about it. I call North Texas my home away from home, and I say that, and my parents, my family has a house in the Poconos that I can escape to, and I certainly feel very at home there. But this is a very community oriented convention. It's like an extended family reunion, I guess you could say. Is that a good way to put it?
Yes, very good way.
Paul, easy to fall off the bandwagon. Good thing you're in a meat centric cuisine state. Yes, and now here's the thing too. When you go to a convention, especially if it's a convention you're not driving to. If I'm driving to TotalCon, I'm driving to it, right? I've got my car. It opens up options.
Yeah.
It also puts you in the position where, generally speaking, you're also now going to be the Uber or car service for others, as others have been for us.
Right.
It's the expectation if you have a vehicle, you're at a con, you've got friends and acquaintances.
Yeah.
You like, hey everybody, hey, we got room for 2 or 3 people. Let's go and find some place to eat, because you don't always want the hotel food. And the hotel food here is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this much: it's better than last year.
Oh, by far. Last year was so limited.
Yeah.
Because it was just like a few things that you could get, and
it was like recovering.
You couldn't sit there. You had to either take it to your room or,
Yeah,
Yeah.
There wasn't much going on. Tom, sorry, I want to crow a little, but the other guy blinked. Listen, I might be on vacation. I might not be what's the word I'm looking for? Actively investigating. But it has been joked with me that even though I'm on vacation, apparently I am still working, and I have asked questions of. There are a number of legal minds at this convention, going back from the TSR days to people that run other conventions, people that design games, people that just love to play games. There's a lot of legal minds here.
Yes.
And I've been able to get some good feedback from those legal minds. And it's been eye-opening. But even with them, it was getting feedback, and at the same time, it's like, but I don't want to go any deeper, because you know what? I go, let me guess. You're on vacation. I go, exactly. You don't want to deal with that stress that, although there is some schadenfreude going on. I will say that there is some schadenfreude, and I will probably have a nice big toast later on to, was it the not? I'll leave it at that. The not person. The person that was not. Rich was like, oh, now I get it.
No, it's I've gotten it all along.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind. But, I mean,
I was just thinking of another name. Never mind.
If you're going to say peckerhead, I mean, it might be applicable, but not. All right. No. That might be too much of an accurate description. But yep, I did see that. I saw what was deleted, but there is still one left. But we'll look for that later. Tammy, Rachel, you look extra pretty. That hair.
Thank you.
Look at that. Well, because hey, like I said, listen.
It was wash day.
So
was the most grueling workout day.
So here's a little true story for today. So I was at a seminar and run by legal minds within the old school gaming area about IP and trademarks. Whoa!
Hmm.
Holy crap! What?
How applicable
How
to
applicable?
this day and age?
So, Rach was. Were you there? No, you weren't there for that one.
No.
So Rach was going and she went back to the room. She was going to work out. Okay. So I finish up with the IP seminar and I head upstairs. And I head upstairs and I knock on the door because I try to use my card key and it comes out yellow, which means that she's locked the inner. And then
Oh yeah, you had to throw every bolt you can when you're in there alone.
I knock a few times and then I call on the phone and I call on the phone again. And I can hear the phone ring. So I know I'm not like stupid. It's like I'm not like out somebody else's room about to get shot for stalking. And then I listen closely and I hear the shower. I went, oh, she's taking her post-workout shower. So I go back downstairs. And I go back downstairs and Rach like, oh, I was in the shower. Like, yeah, listen, I'm already downstairs. But what was good about that is I got to talk with Darlene. And I spent a good hour talking with Darlene. And she
lovely person.
Wonderful,
so sweet, gentle.
I mean, she just she radiates a sense of goodness.
Yes.
And it's really amazing. So we had a really good time, really great conversation. I can't thank her enough. But as she pointed out, we've seen each other. We've crossed paths at prior North Texas cons and probably at GaryCon, but we never had a chance to talk, usually because she was selling her stuff or I was most prior cons, I was working a table.
Yeah, okay? That's another big change this
year. So that's another big change. Like last year, I wasn't working a table, but I was helping Bad Mike with his. So, and I felt comfortable doing that. You get into that routine. But this year, I've been able to socialize with people, sit down with people, whether it's in a common room like this or in the chairs alongside the hallway or outside in the quote smoking section or at the bar or wherever. And I have met so many appreciative people for basically doing what it is that I do, this YouTube channel, doing what I do on the blog side. And this to get the positive feedback online is awesome. And I can't thank you all enough when you do. I do get PMs. I do get comments. When you get it in person, all right. When somebody like Darlene sees you on, her first full day here, Thursday, and looks at me and realizes who I am, and then gives me a hug.
Yes.
Oh, that was emotional for me. And it was very sweet and it was very heartfelt. So, I mean, this is a community. And the OSR itself is a larger community. This is certainly a subset. But once you start coming to a convention, especially like North Texas, but there are communities that are central to GaryCon, Gamehole, TotalCon. These are people that go every year, get to know each other, get to know
to the
staff.
Point that everybody looks for one another.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see this one this year. Oh,
yeah.
I heard about this, and so people are often wondering about each other, looking for each other.
So the not person has gone, hit the road, and Rachel did exactly what he's now doing, thinking of another name. That was Tammy.
Yeah, sounds about right.
John Scott, hi from Toronto. John, we have a few Canadians here. I think Greg Gillespie is probably the most recognizable one. By the way, what's her name from England? I saw her in the dealer room.
Should we put a name?
No, we don't have to. But in any case,
I do know who you mean.
You can go first. You can go first. You can say first name.
Karen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are people that, if you don't see them, you wonder where they are. They're missing.
Because they are such a big personalities and big parts of the con.
What are you missing? Uh, Folks on the other side of the screen is Chris Clark, and he may be missing some brain cells.
How you doing?
Outside the screen. We're doing a live stream.
Oh, it's a live stream. Oh my goodness! Now I feel embarrassed.
Oh, you want to come in?
And what am I missing? I'm a few cards short of a full deck. That's
Oh, there
Pull
you
up a
go.
chair. It's good.
I'm gonna do something else quick, but then
Okay.
What? Probably in about 30 minutes.
I'm about to be very loud.
Oh,
Okay.
you can be as loud as you need to be.
You do what you do.
There's a reason why we do it in this room, so people know what there's a con going around.
Okay.
All right. I mean, if it's the screams of people dying, all right, it makes the con seem that much more exciting. There you go. So, folks, again, we are literally in the main common area. We just happened to grab a table that is in Artist Row that's not being used. So we figured we sit here. Had this way, people wouldn't have to feel embarrassed walking behind us. Yesterday, there were some people going, "Oh my God, I walked behind your live stream. I'm so sorry." We don't mind.
No.
It adds to it. John, Darlene is awesome. I did a rough copy of a video for her about a famous World of Greyhawk map earlier today. Oh, God bless you. God bless you. I mean, Darlene is honestly, she's a treasure for the gaming community, old school or otherwise, and respecting people like that and honoring them while they're with us. You know, we can say, Gary. I regret that I never met Gary. Gary Gygax, Senior. We had conversed a couple of times on Enworld, and he invited me to play D&D on his back porch. And obviously that never happened. I was never going out to Lake Geneva, and I regret never having made that contact and having met Gary in person. So I cherish everybody I can meet in the hobby, whether they are from the original TSR days, like Steve Marsh, Tim Cass, Darlene, somebody like Zeb Cook, or whether it's people like Jeff Talanian and others of that more recent ilk, Matt Finch, Bill Webb, because at some point you're not going to be able to meet them, whether it's because you yourself can't travel, or maybe they're not going to travel. Tim might be reaching the point where he's not going to be going to any more cons. So you got to take the opportunities as they present themselves before they leave. And I think that often we forget a lot of that, and it's human nature, obviously. John, I was just talking that Darlene is a treasure, and we should really respect that. Tammy, it was amazing getting that invite from Gary. First, he commented on on Enworld. I used to have, addition to being Tenkar, I had coppers and crawlers instead of like D&D as my call sign, and he was like, "Why crawlers and not donuts?" I'm like, "Well, because crawlers are less messy and less likely to have powdered
All right,
sugar."
because they're hollow.
Yes. Yeah. So these are things you had to think about while wearing a dark blue uniform. I know. Go figure. So, John, sadly never met Gary. We did bounce around a few emails, and that was it. Yeah, I mean, everybody I know that has known Gary in his post-TSR days has spoken very highly of those experiences. I don't really know anybody who dealt with Gary, aside from people that work with Gary, in the TSR days. But I've spent time talking with Jeff Talanian, he's a friend of mine, and Jeff has certainly spoken very highly of Gary. Actually, one of the things at the afternoon auction today was the upper levels of the Castle Zagig. That was, I think that I don't even remember what it went for. Maybe close to $1,000. It was. I heard it was, when I realized what was being bid on. Obviously, I knew I was outclassed and I wasn't going to be part of it. Tim Cask is awesome. Tim Cask John is a character. He is unique. You are. There will never be another Tim Cast. Tim will speak his mind. God bless him for doing so. Am I right, Rach?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know,
And at high volumes.
yes. And if he's going to kill a party, he's going to kill a party, and to hell with the rest of you. But I love Tim because he's that honest. Okay, and because he's that unfiltered, and he did a great video in support of Darlene
Mhm.
When she needed the support.
Yes.
And I think that's another thing that to I don't know, touch on, because when you're at a convention, right, especially a convention like North Texas, we're talking about community. That means support, and part of the way you support people at the con, especially those that are creators or vendors, is to shop the table. A lot of these people that are vending here are artists, they're self-publishers,
Sure.
and by making purchases directly from them, you're cutting out the middleman. You're not paying a share to Amazon. You don't have to pay postage,
Yeah.
and it's just an amazing way to get your products, the purchases signed. Why not? They're here. They're happy to do it. That is really a huge aspect of all of this experience. I am not a signature collector, but for those that are, conventions are a huge way to get such things signed. We got things signed by Darlene today.
Yes, we did.
And my niece Shannon, I know you watch occasionally, so you got to cover your ears up now, girl. All right, if you are. Shannon got a few things, prints signed by Darlene that I think she's gonna love, and you're not gonna get that by again ordering from Amazon or going to the bookstore.
Right. One of the things is a coloring book that's just really special with her art.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, North Texas is it's a trip for us.
Mm-hmm.
If I would love it if we were closer or the com's closer to us and we could
Yeah,
drive it.
of course.
Because again, driving gives you extra options. Driving means, all right, we got a few hours free. Let's go to Walmart and pick up some healthier options, right?
Right.
You don't necessarily have that if you fly in. You're taking the hotel shuttle. You're taking the cab. If you're going to Uber somewhere, it's probably ridiculous because you're going to Uber out and Uber back. So these are things you have to take into account. We didn't really pack any healthy snacks coming out because, honestly, I didn't think of it. But my luggage is pretty full going out.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to be fuller going back. So, another thing to keep in mind that when it comes to conventions is that this is where if you're a collector of rarities, this is where you're going to collect a lot of the rarities. You're going to find stuff at the different vendors. But also, if you want to get things that are cheaper than usually eBay, this is another way to do it. A lot of times it's excess stock. A lot of times it's stock that's been sitting on a shelf for a while. Or it could be happened, I guess, yesterday. Somebody came in with, I think, about 6 huge tubs of RPG books donated to the con. And at first, Mike decided, all right, I'm going to try to check eBay prices and then cut like 25% off like eBay prices. And in the end, Mike just said, screw it. There's just so much of that stuff. It was $10 a book or something like that. I mean, that is amazing. That's not going to happen when you walk into a complete strategist or a gaming store. Nobody's going to come in and donate a quarter of their gaming collection to support a store, but they will do that to support a con. The convention did an amazing auction today. Amazing.
They've raised obscene amounts of money
Which
for the
is
convention, which is like all money that's very much needed
Yes.
to support and plan for the next one and pay the bills for it.
right.
But
Because
it's mind blowing to see the amount of money that came in.
because here's the thing: North Texas, when Doug Ray, God rest his soul, before Doug passed, he regarded the convention as his vacation. He took his family on a big vacation every year, but his vacation, his time, what he did was the con. So if it ran at a loss, and it often did, he would just cover it out of his own pocket. That's the kind of man he was. Those deep pockets are not here, so the convention has to be supported by the attendees, the sponsors, the fans of it. So, I mean, I bid on stuff today that I bid on one thing I wasn't even sure I was bidding on. Nobody bid initially. So my hand went up, and then when my hand went down, it was at 120, and I was like, "Oh, thank God I didn't buy what I didn't need to buy." I had no idea what it was, but if I had to buy it, I would say I would have, because it was to support the con.
It's all for a good thing.
It's all for a good thing. Jim Kitchen, who runs the Gen Con auctions and the Gary Con auctions, he ran the auction last year because Bad Mike had food poisoning thanks to Alex Gammer taking him out to
That's really why?
yeah to
Oh.
a basketball game because it's playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that
Okay.
was last year.
Mhm.
But Dennis, Jim did such a great job last year that he was invited back this year. He did another amazing job. He knows how to work a crowd. He knows how to sell product. And if he was selling used cars, oh my God, he'd be the salesman of the year. And you'd have a car you probably didn't expect to buy. Like I already have a car. I don't need another one. Jim just sold you another car. So, but uh-oh, troublemakers walking by the table. What's up?
Are you streaming?
Yeah, we're streaming. You can, we're doing Gamers Health. We do that every Saturday. Let's talk about challenge. Like the challenge is eating healthy at the con. Can you eat? Unless you consider Michelob Ultra on tap to be a healthy alternative.
Which some people may.
It's less
it is
harmful.
all relative.
Less harmful, right?
Battletech guys
Harm
are going on a beer
reduction
run
it
right
is,
now,
yes.
So,
Oh, well, all right. Well, we may have to wrap up when they get back, Rach, for. That's folks. That is literally the kind of community that we have. By the way, remind me that when we finish up with this, we gotta ping our niece because she just pinged us on Discord.
Oh, okay.
But honestly,
Oh man, we should have pinged her a couple of nights ago.
Wait a second. Wait. I think she's watching the live stream. I do, but I gotta check my phone here for a second because I can't pull it up on the big screen.
Oh, it's not here in the right?
That just pops up and then it leaves. It's the Discord.
Oh, it's that. It's that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, you're doing a live stream. Well, hope everything's going good in Texas.
Aww.
She's not watching the live stream. So what does that mean? She doesn't know the goodies she's gonna get.
Yeah, good. It's still a secret.
It's still a secret. Yeah. It's a secret. Wanted to make sure there were no new chats in there. So, all right. So we've discussed eating healthy, right? We've discussed exercise. We've even discussed drinking, although we didn't discuss that after the whiskey tasting, with the pre-tasting and the post-tasting, and then the bar follow-up that I left my bag at the bar overnight with this laptop and my iPad.
Oh my God, yeah, that was scary.
Rach lost her con badge. We went back and found that under the same table, but somehow neither one of us saw. She has an excuse.
I'm sitting here looking for my blue badge.
Right, not my big blue.
Not the big blue backpack.
Hold on. This thing.
Well, and it was also dark.
Yeah.
It was also dark because they shut the lights out.
Right. They shut.
So I could see the blue badge under my chair. That's what I was looking for. So then, around 7:30 yesterday, we woke up and I told Eric, the time, and he's like, "Holy shit! My bag is gone. My bag is downstairs. I left it. Yada." So I'm like, "Oh Jesus, man, we gotta get down there." So I get ready and I go out. I can't get an elevator. All the elevators are grounded.
They were because somebody was stuck in the elevator. So Rach comes
Yeah.
back to the room
I was
now.
like, I gotta pee because I can't make it down the stairs.
Right. So now, by the way,
Like 11 flights.
in the meantime, what was Tenkar doing? Tenkar was doing the old man peeing, where it's like, all right, my morning pee. It's like just how much fluid do I have in me? This has to stop. Rachel comes in. I go back out. The elevators are still not working.
Yeah, you
I
decided to go down the
I
stairs.
walked down 11 flights of stairs into the parking lot, see the fire truck, go, oh, I guess this is stuck occupied.
Then that's why you're still in pain.
Yeah, I'm still in pain.
Yeah, I remember going down in the city one time. I was at a yoga thing, and from the 15th floor, we're all trucking down the stairs because nobody's told us shelter in place or disregard. So, yeah, that was quite the workout.
So,
And I didn't know, so I was like, "Oh, it'll be fine. We're just going
Yeah.
down. It's not like we're going
oh
up."
God. Yeah, so my calves and my thighs are
Yeah,
still
your
aching.
hamstrings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've always had tight hamstrings, so God help on that one.
Hmm.
But I get down there, and Rachel's already down there because the elevators are now working, and she took the elevator down. But the bag isn't where we left it, or I
Right.
left it. And I'm like, oh, geez. And then I look toward the check-in area, and there I see my bag. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord, because that would have been upsetting. And honestly, this con has only had, I believe, one theft of anything of value that I know of. This is, I
A
think,
very long time ago, no?
it was 2019, I believe,
Hmm.
the year before COVID, and somebody had a laptop yoked.
Oh, that's terrible.
And we don't believe it was a con goer. We believe it was another guest at the hotel, because the convention areas are not like roped off. There's nobody.
Right.
There's nobody.
You mix with other
yeah,
people.
There's
in the
nobody. There's nobody
restaurant
going.
or-
Show your ID before you can walk into this area. No, and some people do come in and they do walk around and listen, on Wednesday nights. Wednesday night is the pre-con Get It On. You don't have to have a con badge to attend the Wednesday night pre-con Get It On. If you are local to Irving, Texas, was it Lubbock, Dallas, Fort Worth, Irvine? If you're local,
Grapevine.
If you're local to this area, next June, come down on Wednesday night. You might decide you're going to want to stay the whole con. But come down Wednesday night for the pre-con Get It On, and do some pickup games or whatever. There's some stuff on the schedule.
Yeah, there's a lot going on the Wednesday. I was surprised. There were games in that alcove back here, like a couple of them
Yeah.
when we arrived. Yeah.
Yes, Paul. We are lucky that the bag did not get a new owner. But here's another thing too, and this is coming from New Yorker. Even New Yorkers are generally honest, but I would guess that Texans are even more honest than New Yorkers. Okay.
Yes, the porter found it and
Yeah.
she brought it over to the desk.
Yeah.
Just minutes before.
Yeah.
I got there.
So, by the way, Tom broke out the bottled in bond bourbon.
Oh.
And is toasting Don tonight.
Nice.
I will certainly be having something special to drink. Maybe not tonight. Might have to wait till we get home. I do have something nice to. Heck, we might even just have to stop in our local pub on Monday and go top shelf for just for one drink. We'll see. What else we got here? The nursing home I worked in, Tom, had the slowest elevator, so I would run the stairs if I wasn't transporting a patient.
Right.
Kept me in shape and burning calories. Yeah. When we had the Hurricane Sandy flooded out the city, it also flooded out my location where I worked. We had
that was bad
we had
below
no power.
34th.
Now, thankfully, my bureau just worked out of the third floor. That's where we were. But the basement and the sub-basement were flooded. There was no power. So you had to walk up and down those flights. And usually for me, it was multiple times a day because we were getting supplies from Queens or getting supplies from other parts of the city that had power. and arranging for pickups of fuel to run generators. It was not a lot of fun, and we actually had to use those military glow sticks because there was no way to light the hallways. It's or the staircase. So you needed because the staircases are made to be fireproof. So there's no windows and nothing. When those doors are shut, you saw nothing, and there was no emergency power after that first 12 hours. So, wow. So, since we're at the con, we may make this a quick one. Normally, if we were more centralized in this room, there's a lot of pickup games going on tonight. So if we were at the table we were yesterday, we probably would have had a few walk-by guests because they feel guilty walking by and not stopping in. But huge thank you to everybody that's watching live right now. You're all awesome. I'm going to do a huge shout-out to Don Samora.
Don Samora.
Don, you've got a real set, and I do appreciate it. And
Do you mean to say like a real set of brass ones?
real set of brass ones.
Yes.
I mean, maybe they're adamantine or mithril.
Oh,
These fantastical, very strong metals. But let's just say, Don, you did a great job. I personally appreciate it. Rach does. I'll tell you the truth.
going.
I'll tell you the
Keep
truth.
going. Good for you.
The whole gaming community, the whole old school gaming community appreciates it. Because I will say something that I know there's a few people going to go, really? I've had some individuals in the old school gaming community that I know their political leanings. They're not shy about it. That are like, what the fuck is with TSR? Why are they putting the stain on our community? And it's one thing to hear it said online. It's another thing when people come up to you to shake your hand and say it in person. So,
yeah, the support here has been amazing.
Yes, Tammy Don is awesome. If Justin is polishing for Don right now, that would be awesome. I just don't. I don't know if he actually has the dexterity or the strength to accomplish stuff. But you never know. So, folks, again, huge thank you to our live crowd. We will be back in New York, obviously, for the next episode. Maybe the one after that might be from the Poconos. Who knows? But always fun. I can't thank you all for your support. Okay. And that goes for people that are at this convention right now, people watching at home. You've all been amazing throughout this whole experience.
Yeah, thank you guys all so much
for
being here and just being there in general.
Yes. So by the way, Wizard Tower Games has like an inspiration deck. I picked it up. It might actually be at my house now, waiting for me.
Oh, it's a deck of cards
yes,
that has
inspiration for running your adventures and stuff.
Oh.
So I am going to review that when I do, and I'm also going to, when I get back home, we'll do a post sharing out Wizard Tower Games, what they've got for sale, how you can support Don.
In any of his endeavors, yes.
So, I mean, and that, again, we're talking about North Texas. We're talking about community. This is what community does, all right? You support the people in your community that deserve the support. Again, thank you all. As usual, we're in the midst of the world of COVID. You really wouldn't know that here. Only a handful of people are wearing masks. That's a personal choice. But in Texas, there's no mask mandate. So God bless. They can't even have it per site. So that's even better. All right. But that being said, you know your risk factors. You know where you live, the community you live in. If it's flaring up, take the precautions that you need to take. Otherwise, be safe, be well. God bless.
Take good care. And we'll talk to you.
Mañana. Roll those dice. Roll them well. Yeah, you know what? Probably another live stream tomorrow. I know I don't normally do a live stream on Sundays. It's either going to be a live stream or I'm going to do a walking tour of the con before they shut everything down. So you can see some of the vendors that were here. That might be a thing too. All right.
That's nice. A vendor showcase.
A vendor showcase. I'll have to do it. We'll have to get down by 9 o'clock.
By 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Maybe we'll do that. Might not be live.
Maybe
but
even, yeah,
we'll
because I
upload it.
think 9 a.m. it opens.
Yep. All right, folks. As always, thank you much. God bless.
We should probably talk to them tonight. To
They're already closed for
oh,
most of the
everybody's
vendors.
going on.
It's already 8 o'clock.
Oh, oh.
Yep. All right, folks. Laters.